This is an update tutorial for the Yoast SEO plugin. This is a complete walkthrough of how to set it up initially and then how to do on-page SEO for any post on your site. They've changed the checklist and how it works since my last tutorial, so that's why I'm making this update. And I don't leave anything out. So if you want to know on-page SEO and how to set up SEO Yoast, this is the tutorial for you. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If it's your first time here and you like WordPress tips and tricks and getting better at it and serving your clients better, then start now by clicking subscribe, then click the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything, and make sure you sign up for the private WPLearningLab Facebook group where we can hang out, ask questions, help each other get better at WordPress. There's a link in the description down below, so make sure you check that out. And with that out of the way, let's head into the screen capture. The first thing we have to do is install the Yoast SEO plugin. So I'm going to go to Plugins and then Add New and search for Yoast SEO. Over recent years, the Yoast SEO plugin has changed names lots of times, so it may not be called Yoast SEO when you're watching this video. Even if you watch this video within a few months of me making it, they may have changed the name. Either way, the one we want is this first one up here. Almost 20,000 5-star average reviews. That's pretty amazing. Over 1 million active installs, updated 1 day ago, compatible with the current version of WordPress, so that all looks good. But even so, it's always a good idea to make sure you have a backup process in place to back up your files and your database before you install plugins. I have a tutorial about the Updraft Plus plugin linked to up above in the card or in the description down below, so check that out if you don't have a backup process, and you should always back up before you install new plugins. I'm on the test site, so I'm not too concerned. I'm just going to click on Install Now and then Activate. If you've installed Yoast SEO before, you'll just be redirected to the plugins page. If this is your first time installing, you'll be sent to the wizard, which you can also go to if you've installed this before. Just go to SEO and then General, and then click on Open the Configuration Wizard again. And that's going to walk us through setting up the basic settings for the plugin. And we're going to walk through that right now. So we have 12 steps. Don't be too intimidated. It doesn't take long. And it's going to take a bit longer because I'll be talking as I do this, telling what each of these things are. But there's only 12 steps. It doesn't take too long. First step. Do we want to configure SEO Yoast, or do we want to have them configure it, which is a paid service? Since I'm showing you how, you don't need to pay them. But if you want to anyway, go for it. Just click on this link over here. Click on Configure Yoast SEO to move to step 2. That's how fast some of these steps are. Pretty fast. Specify the environment that this plugin is going to live on. Either my site is live and is ready to be indexed, or my site is under construction and should not be indexed. In my case, it's live, and all these things can be changed later. So when you move your site from being under construction to live, you can change this setting inside the general settings or go through the wizard again and set it up so it's ready to be indexed. So none of this is set in stone. It's just to walk you through some of the basic setup. What type of site do I have here? I'm going to choose a blog. All these don't really have additional settings right on this same page. So I'm just going to choose blog. Does your site represent a company or a person? I'm going to say company. I'm going to call it WP PhD. Use that as my image. Why not? You always have to pick a different image for yours, or no image. Click on next. Now we can input some social media profiles. I'm not going to add any here right now. Pretty straightforward. Just put the URL to the specific profiles in these boxes. When you're done, hit next. Search engines will look at what you said here and make their own judgment on what they want to do. They might not always honor what you said here, but at least this is giving some kind of guidelines. So more often than not, especially in the case of this example where it's a blog, search engines should show posts in search results. Yes. Should show pages. Yes. Should show my library, which is all the images on your site in search results. Yes, you want images in search results. Then it has custom post types in here. You can pick which ones you want in search results and which ones not. And those are all the different types of pages that are available. So pick yes and no based on what you want to have in search results and what you don't. And again, search engines selectively honor what you say. So if you say no, it may actually still appear in search results. That's just how search engines are. Click on next once you pick the appropriate results or appropriate options. Does your site have multiple authors, or will it have multiple authors? Yes or no. This will provide more settings later on inside of the general settings, but in my case, the answer is no. So I'm just going to click on no and then next. The Yoast SEO plugin provides a very simple way to verify your site in Google Search Console. And mine's already authenticated on here, so let's see if I can redo it. Let's try clicking re-authenticate. Yours may say authenticate on here instead of re-authenticate. Let's click on get Google authorization code. Then we got to sign into the account that has Google Search Console. If you don't have Google Search Console yet, there's a tutorial linked to in the card above that'll help you set that up. Now this is the code we want to get right here. Paste it right here. Click on authenticate. And then we choose a profile. Choose the one that is this website. And then click on next. The title settings apply to all the posts on your site. So what's going to happen is you're going to have the post title followed by a separator, any one of these. Most often I've seen a dash of varying sizes or a pipe character. And then following that is going to be the website name that's entered up here. So it'll be something like top 10 ways to milk a cow dash website name. And that'll be how your title appears. If you delete this, there'll just be a dash and then no website name, but you can turn this off inside the general settings. This just assumes that you're going to have the title of the website after the post name, which is pretty common. So I'm going to keep these settings that I have here. Click on next. Do we want to sign up for the Yoast newsletter? Yes or no. If you do want to, you have to click on sign up after this info is filled in. Click on sign up. If you don't want to, just click on next and you won't get newsletter emails from Yoast. Now we're offered some things we might like, which is the premium content. There's a bunch of premium offers that Yoast will provide you if you want them. So go for any of those if you want. Yoast is a great company, great plugin, so they produce quality stuff. So if you think you want extra training, check it out. If not, click on next. Also, if not right now, you can get to these things through the Yoast plugin as well. And now we are done our setup. We are ready to rock and roll. So let's click on close to close the wizard. And all the settings we set in the wizard can be found throughout the plugin on the general tab. Some are on search appearance, some are on search console. If you don't want to go through and find where all those are, you can just open the wizard again by clicking here. Something we don't set in the wizard I think is very important is under search appearance, and I believe it is under media. And that is this first setting up here, redirect attachment URLs to the attachment itself. When you upload an image to WordPress, you may have noticed this, a page is created for that attachment, and it's called an attachment page or attachment URL. And it's a really empty page. It might have a title if you added a title to your image, but it usually is just empty and not very useful in reaching your website goals because it's not indexed because there's no content. If it is indexed, it's not great content and somebody will bounce from the page. So the best practice is to redirect the attachment URL to the attachment itself. So if you upload an image, instead of having the attachment URL, you actually go right to the image. So I usually have this on yes. So then it will be redirected directly to the image, and then you don't have those empty pages for the attachments. Then Google and other search engines can still index that image for the image search, but they don't index the blank page in the regular search index. So I always turn this to yes, and that's something that's not in the wizard that we worked on earlier. So now that we have Yoast set up, we can start doing some on-page optimization for a post. So I'm just going to head over to posts, and I'm going to add a new post, and we're going to go through the awesomeness that is Yoast SEO. One of the reasons it has millions of downloads is the on-page factors that show up live in a checklist as you're building a page. So I'm actually going to get some lorem ipsum text for my post content because I don't have a post handy for this, but we want to have some content to work on. So I'm just going to create 15 paragraphs of lorem ipsum text. Put that in here. I'm going to call the page Yoast SEO testing. Now if we scroll down, the magic happens right here in the Yoast SEO box. There's quite a bit going on here, so let's go through it step by step. First, we have a search snippet preview. You may recognize this because it looks like a Google search result, and it does look just like one. And this allows you to adjust what this looks like on Google search. We click on Edit Snippet. We can change the title to whatever we want. We can change the slug to whatever we want. And we can change the meta description to whatever we want. And the meta description, as you type, you can see that the bar down at the bottom here shows how much text we have. It's going to say this is great and then paste it over and over. And we can see once we're approaching the limit, we're in the green now. And now we're over. Too much. We're cut off. We can see up here the last sentence is cut off. So let's just go back to here. We're in the green. We're maxed out. We have our snippet done. Close snippet editor when we're ready. Then we can add a focus keyword. This is something also very important. In this case, let's just add lorem ipsum. That should be in the text multiple times. Let's see how many times it's in there. So we add our keyword. If you're new to keyword research, check out the tutorial in the card above for a primer on keyword research, where we put our focus keyword for the article right here. And then we have a list of problems based on this keyword. Sometimes to have this update, you have to update the post by going up to the top and then clicking on Save Draft or Publish or Update or whatever you have to click on. And then this data will be updated. And our goal is to get all of these circles to be green. So right now we have the meta description is a nice length, and you've never used this focus keyword before. Very good. Here we have 4 problems and 1 improvement. So the first problem, the focus keyword doesn't appear in the first paragraph of the copy. Make sure the topic is clear immediately. That's not entirely true because we actually copied this keyword from the first paragraph. If we go up, we see the first paragraph. The very first words are those actually. So let's click on Save Draft. Again, some of them are updated instantly. Some of them need to have the page updated in the database. And while we're here, you notice up at the top, this dot was red a minute ago, now it's orange. That's showing our overall status, our overall optimization quality for this post. We are currently at orange, it has it here as well. And red for readability, we'll get to readability in a minute. But now we actually have more problems than before with that update, but we have the focus keyword in the first paragraph, so that's awesome. Keyword density is at 0.2%, which is too low. We found the keyword 3 times. Keyword density is a metric that's going out of style, but it's still relevant. So it's not that it's something you have to do all the time and make sure it's perfect, but it's a good idea, especially in longer content, just to make sure you have the keyword enough times. And that doesn't update live. So we're going to click on update again. I pasted it 3 times in 3 different paragraphs. And now we should see keyword density improve. Now when you're doing this, I don't want you to just copy and paste the keyword throughout. I want you to work it in naturally so it sounds normal when someone's reading it. Don't just go and copy and paste a keyword wherever you feel like it in order just to hit that metric. That's what worked back in 2002. That is not what works today. So don't do that. Now we're at 0.4%, which is still too low. I think 0.5 or 1% is Yoast's target for that. So let's just add it 4 more times. Click on Save Draft and then scroll down again when the page has reloaded. And now we're at 0.7% and it's green. So it looks like 0.5 is what Yoast is currently using. Next problem. Meta description has been specified, but it does not contain the focus keyword. Okay. I will just paste it in and you will work it in naturally. So there's our focus keyword. And that one updated live, that popped it right down to here. No, right here, the meta description contains the focus keyword. The next problem, no images appear on this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. Okay, I think it's appropriate to add an image right here. I don't know about you, but that looks like a great spot. You'll want to add something that's appropriate or maybe even not. You can add random images. You don't want them to take away from the blog post, but you don't necessarily have to have images that are specific to a blog post. So images is one of those ones that we have to update for. We might as well do the internal linking while we're here. Internal linking is important for Google and other search engines to determine the relevance of a page and the relationship to the rest of the website. So I'm going to choose this text right here. I'm going to click on link. I'm going to search for test. I've got a lot of testing, a lot of pages with the name test in it, or the word test. I'm going to use this post right here instead of pages. So I'm linking to a post that has the word test in it. And then I believe there's also a linking out checkbox. So improvements, no outbound links on this page. So let's link this text to google.com. And then click on Save Draft. Now we're going to have all three of those updated at one time. And if you haven't caught on already, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, just let me say this more explicitly. This is a checklist that allows you to easily optimize a page, and you could just write this out on a piece of paper that you have on a Post-it beside your computer as you're writing your blog posts, or it's a checklist you give to your outsourcers as they're writing the blog posts, and you say these are the requirements. These are the deliverables of the blog post, and then you can have a lot of this either done for you or top of mind as you're creating content. So now all of those three have been moved down to the green. This page has 0, no follow outbound links and 1 normal outbound. Got a green circle, 0 no follow internal and 1 normal internal. And there's an image somewhere. No, image is up here. They still want improvement on the image. So the image is missing an alt attribute. So let's find the image. The alt attribute is used by screen readers, and if the image doesn't appear for whatever reason, and we just add it by typing alt equals open and close quotes, and I'm just going to call this ocean image. What you can also do, just for some added bonus, is add a title and call it picture of waves in the ocean. You want to have it something that's descriptive of the image, and then that appears when someone hovers over the image for more than 1 second. And it also helps Google and other search engines determine what the image is about. Google is getting pretty good at looking at an image and determining what the image is about just by looking at it, but they're not there yet. So they rely on things like alt text and title tags to determine what the image is about to help them better rank the image in search results. But you also don't want to keyword spam in your images, so make sure you keep it natural. Just write, if the image is about an ocean, write that in the title tags and the attribute, but don't just copy and paste the exact same thing to all of them. The images on this page are missing alt attributes. They are not. I ran into this issue in the last time I did this video, I believe, and I don't remember what it was. It's this right here. When I added the image, WordPress added a blank alt tag. So once this saves, I'm just going to delete that alt tag and put in the correct alt tag. So I'm just going to delete this one, take my dash out of here, and then click on Save Draft again, and then scroll down back to our checklist. And now there's more complaining. Images on the page do not have alt attributes contain the focus keyword. Like I said before, you do want to have the focus keyword in the alt and the title tags, just don't spam it in there. So make it look natural. In my case, it's not natural because I'm just using an example, but make it look natural. And don't make the alt and the title the exact same thing. And when I'm creating a blog post, I use Yoast all the time. So I have this checklist in my head, so I just do these things automatically. Whereas here, I'm showing you what the plugin does to help you or coach you to developing better on-page SEO by moving things. Like we didn't have an image at first, so it was a problem. We added an image and then we didn't have alt tag. That was a problem. And then we added the alt tag, but then we didn't have the keyword in the alt tag. So now that was a problem. And now we have the keyword in there, we have an image in there, and now we're all good. We're in the green for that particular requirement. Next problem, the focus keyword does not appear in the SEO title, and an improvement, the SEO title is too short. Use the space to add keyword variations or create compelling call to action copy. So let's go to our SEO title, SEO, Yoast SEO testing with lorem ipsum sprinkled in. Click here. I'm not going to add click here, but you can add a call to action there if you feel that's necessary. And it's also going to say that the keyword needs to be in the permalink, which I'm going to add in just a minute as well. I'm just going to check out the checklist and confirm that it does still want the keyword in the permalink, because Google search factors change all the time. And Yoast SEO, one of the great benefits of having it is it's constantly updated. We saw it was updated less than 1 day ago when we installed it. As Google changes, as people around the world notice that Google has changed its algorithm, Yoast SEO will be updated if it's proven that the changes are important and good for on-page SEO. So here we now have, if we look for our title, SEO title has a nice length, so that's good. And our focus keyword does not appear in the URL of this page. So let's put it in there. And if this is a live page, then you will want to have a 301 redirect created to the new page, because when you change the URL, if you're updating all of your pages that are on your site already, when you update the URL, that old page may have been indexed. The new page isn't. So you want a 301 redirect from the old page to the new page. In the card above is a tutorial that shows you how to do that. It's really quite simple. Now we have that problem dealt with. If we can find it in here in the green. Focus keyword appears in the URL of this page, so that's gravy. And now we have one more problem. You've used the focus keyword 2 times before. It's probably a good idea to read about why you should not use your focus keyword more than once. Now earlier it said we didn't, so I don't know why it's now saying we do, but the reason you don't want to is you're basically cannibalizing your performance. Google will only, or Google tries to only rank 1 page per keyword. So if you have 5 pages on 1 keyword and you're trying to get the top 5 results in Google for that 1 keyword, Google is going to try to take just one of those pages. If there aren't enough search results or everything else is garbage, they may rank more than one of your pages on the first page, but more than likely they will just take one of your 5 pages and exclude the others from that search result. And that's what this is complaining about. I have this 2 other times, this keyword, and so Google is not going to be indexing or ranking all these pages for the same search. And the way you fix this is canonicalization. You're basically telling search results which of those pages is the one you want to rank for that keyword. And that used to be part of the free Yoast plugin, but I believe now it's only on the paid one. So that doesn't help very much. But now we have 10 good results and one that we changed is by changing the focus keyword. And we have a green dot up here, which is awesome. So we are looking really good for our SEO up here. We still have a red dot for readability. We can also see this up here in the publishing box. Readability needs improvement. SEO is good. Let's click on the readability tab. We have some problems and some good things. It says here none of the paragraphs are too long, which is great. 0% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is good apparently. And 0% contain passive voice, which is also good. It's probably determining this based on nothing at all, because it's lorem ipsum text. It's gibberish, so it can't actually determine whether there is a passive voice or not. It can determine how many words there are. So what we want to have is the Fleisch reading test score to be much lower than this. The Fleisch reading test basically determines how difficult it is to read your text, what grade level you have to be able to read your text properly. And in this case, you have to have grade level 18. Which is pretty darn high. So I believe you want to have this down below 7, I think is what Yoast wants. I can't really do this without having real content in here. I can't rewrite all this to get this down to 7. We have to use actual English to get this down there. But for the subheadings, we can add those. So we can just go into anywhere we want here and add an H2 and say this is the post. And then that may update automatically. No, we're going to have to save it. 0% of the sentences contain a transition word or phrase, which is less than the recommended 30%. And again, this is something that would appear naturally if it's written by an English speaker, but I can't just add that in here and have it make sense because this is all gibberish. It's all gibberish text. So I'm going to save the draft so we can update for that subheading, and maybe we'll have our readability up to orange instead of red. Scroll down to our checklist again, and it's still red. These ones, again, I can't change without real text, but when you have real text, these will help guide you through what to do. And I saw a new improvement added here. We have added a heading, but we don't have the focus keyword in the heading. So to fix this, we add the focus keyword to the heading. Pretty straightforward. And that is how we do on-page SEO with SEO Yoast. SEO Yoast has a whole lot more going on. It's a super powerful plugin. If you want me to make a playlist of what else it can do, just let me know in the comments down below. Even if you don't leave a comment, I might make that playlist anyway. But one last thing, when we go over into posts, we can see at a glance in the column on the right which posts are optimized in this stoplight column and which ones need readability improved or have good readability. And you can see that for all your posts. Then you can go in and optimize them as needed if you already have existing posts. So that's how we do it. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss anything. Check out the private Facebook group and the link in the description down below. And next up, check out one of these videos that popped up on the right hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.